Wisdom Wednesdays. I'm Bridget and it's great to be able to share with you this week. I hope you're doing well and I hope you're ready for hopefully a good word. This week we're thinking about what it means to prioritise God. I want to ask you a question. Do you put God first in your life? Or maybe the better question is, what do you prioritise? What are the things in your life that you could not live without? The things that are your go-to, the things that you get up for in the morning, the things that give you passion in life. Now those might be loads of things, from eating to social media. Maybe you can't live without your phone. Maybe it's friends, maybe it's schoolwork. Not all those things are bad, right? In fact, a lot of those things are really important. But there's something important that happens when we put God first. Those other things change and actually become even better. So today we're thinking about, how do we put God first, even above those things, and how does that affect how I guess we view the things in our life that are really important. So today I'm going to be reading from Matthew 6 verse 33. I'm just going to read it off my phone, and I'm reading from the Passion Translation, so look it up. It's a great translation of the Bible, but this is what verse 33 has to say to us. So above all, constantly seek God's kingdom and His righteousness, then all the less important things will be given to you abundantly. Wow, okay, so there's a couple things here I want us to unpack, okay? So there's three things I want us to get this morning. The first thing is this. It tells me to choose God first, above everything else. And so I want you to have a think about, what is your everything else? It'll be different for all of us. I'm not saying that everything else isn't important, but it's telling me here to choose God first. The second thing is this, and His righteousness. And what that means is God's way of good, God's way of right. Things are good, things are right. Am I chasing after what is right in the world? What is right around me? What is good? Or am I giving in to what the world tells me is good and right? It's not the same thing as God. And the last thing is this, it says everything else will be given to me. Everything else will fall into place. That is for my family, to my friends, the stuff I'm worried about, my concerns, might be schoolwork, it might be all the things that are crowding my mind. There is a promise here for us in the Bible that says that as we choose God first, as we seek what is right and good, all these other things fall into place. That's amazing, because it's telling me that actually, as I pursue God, I don't need to worry about the other things, because God is going to work and do something in them. It's like it's telling me the pressure's off somehow. Now, that's great to hear, but I maybe don't feel that way. So I want us to think about, how do we actually genuinely put God first, make Him a priority? How do I let go of my worries and concerns about the other things? So how do we put God first? That's hard, but I want us to think about those other things. Often in the morning, I'm tempted to go into Instagram first. Often in the morning, I'm tempted to run into my day, and the craziness happens. Before I know it, it's time to go to bed and I've missed God. So putting God first is literally putting God first. So first thing in the morning, am I putting God first? Maybe that looks like taking some time out to read the Bible. I get to know who God is in two main ways, well, three main ways really. First, through His words, that's the Bible. Secondly, in prayer, spending time with Him. And thirdly, in the community of other people. I can't do this on my own. So maybe pick an app. Choose to go through a book of the Bible. Choose some time in your day to put God first and see how it changes everything else. And why don't you do it with a friend? Get somebody to hold you accountable. I know when someone's asking me if I've done something, it makes a big difference as to whether or not I've done it. So get to go know God. Make time for Him. Literally put Him first before everything else. Okay, it talks about righteousness in the passage, which is about being good and right, following after God's good and right things. If I'm genuinely following after God's good and right things, my life will start to look radically different, because I'm choosing to put my life on a different value system from the world. So does your life look different from your friends, from your family? That's a hard question, because the answer might be yes, but it also might be no. If we are genuinely following after God's goodness, our lives will transform. But here's the key thing. As our lives transform, the worries about those other things start to also look differently. And we don't just see our own lives change, but we actually see those around us. That community I was telling you about, that starts to change too. So have a think about, as you pursue God's goodness, what is good and right. Look for the transformation in your life, and you'll start to see it spread to those around you. The last thing is this. I want you to ask the priority question again. What do you prioritize? If you put God first in your life and you've made time for that, you've genuinely put it in place and you've got somebody holding you accountable for that. If you're pursuing after God's goodness and what is right and your life is changing and those around you too, then ask the priority question, because that will start to look different than what it did at the beginning of our conversation. When I start to seek God first, my priorities look different, and also my feelings towards them change. I genuinely have stuff that I'm worried about, and I know that you probably do too. But as I put God first, and I learn that He's got a plan for those other things, I also learn that I can let go of them. I can hold less tightly onto them because I know that God is good. And if I'm pursuing His goodness, those other things will be taken care of, whatever they are. So today I want you to know that as you put God first, as you look for and run after His goodness and what is right, the priority question, what do you prioritize, starts to look different. The other things which are important, God will take care of. So, if you've enjoyed today's video, please like it and share it. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got comments or questions, we might pick these up in next week's devotion, so please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. But until then, we hope you have a really good week. Take care and we'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.